The tribulation's first half, 4 major trends. White horse, Antichrist's conquests, the trend of warfare and aggression. Red horse, civil discord, the trend of lawlessness and political destabilization. Black horse, economic constraint, the trend of economic dislocation and famine. Pale green horse, accelerated mortality, the trend of plague and rampant death. The Great Tribulation, 2 major events. Martyrs, the great persecution of believers by Antichrist and his religion. Judgments, the second advent, with its preliminary and concomitant judgments. While Scripture gives us no indication that the underlying dynamics behind the first 4 seal trends will change in any significant way during the Great Tribulation, the fact that Antichrist's empire will control the entire world to one degree or another at this time does mean that these trends will most likely manifest themselves in a somewhat altered way after the beast's consolidation of power. With the establishment of the beast's worldwide kingdom, we can expect 1. The trend of conquest to give way to one of ruthless exploitation and consolidation. 2. The trend of civil discord to give way to one of forcible conformity. 3. The trend of economic restraint likewise to become a matter of policy and fiat as much as one of circumstance. 4. The trend to accelerated mortality to be less random and more a direct result of all of Antichrist's repressive policies. What scripture there is that applies to this aspect of the Great Tribulation agrees with this assessment. Political exploitation and consolidation, seal number 1. And after you, Nebuchadnezzar, another kingdom will arise inferior to you, then a third kingdom after that, one of bronze, which will rule the whole earth. Then there will be a 4th kingdom, that is, revived Rome, strong as iron inasmuch as iron crushes and shatters everything. And like iron which smashes everything, this 4th kingdom will crush and smash all of these other kingdoms. And in that you saw that its feet and toes were part potter's clay and part iron, it will be a divided kingdom. But in that you saw iron joined to common clay, it will possess some of the strength of iron. And as to the toes of its feet being part iron and part clay, the first, literally end part of the kingdom, that is, the 7 kingdoms, will be strong, but the other part of it, that is, the 3 kingdoms, will be brittle. And in that you saw iron joined to common clay, there will be an attempt to join these 10 sub-kingdoms together in the seed of man, that is, through a mixing of their populations, but they will not bond one to another, just as iron cannot be joined to clay. Daniel 2:39 through 43. Although this passage deals primarily with revived Rome, it also suggests that the method of unification attempted within the 10 kingdoms will likewise be attempted worldwide to a greater or lesser degree, no doubt with equally questionable results. The reason for the failure is that the devil and his Antichrist, in spite of all the power they dispose of at this time, will nonetheless be incapable of altering the human language patterns and our inherent disposition to nationalism instilled by God himself at the division of the nations at Babel. Genesis 11:1 through 9. Nevertheless, we should not underestimate the pain and suffering that this attempt on the part of the devil and the beast to create a new, politically homogenized one-world Babel will cause. Furthermore, just as the rider on the white horse went out conquering and did conquer, Revelation 6:2 in the Greek, so we may expect that Antichrist will enjoy some measure of success in his initial efforts, even if he is ultimately unsuccessful in the main. Social homogenization, seal number 2. And he, Antichrist, will speak words against the Most High, and he will persecute the saints of the Most High God. And he will plot to change times and law. And they, that is, believers, the saints, will be given into his hand for a time and times and half a time, that is, for the duration of the Great Tribulation. Daniel 7:25. The second major tribulational trend, exemplified by the red horse, is to take away social peace from the earth through the creation of civil discord. Just as the first seal trend sees a transformation from exterior conquest to interior enforcement and domination, so this second trend will also undergo a like transformation, with Antichrist's efforts now switching from the incitement of differences for the sake of creating political opportunities to an enforced homogenization of the realms under his control. As we can see from the juxtaposition of the elements in Daniel 7:25, a large portion of Antichrist's changing of times and laws will involve the forcible imposition of his satanic religion upon the world, resulting in the persecution of believers. But the beast's essential goal of completely eradicating the ingrained law of God at work in the human heart will not succeed, despite all his draconian methods and policies imposed from above. God's basic ground rules limiting the devil's activities in human history have as an essential part of their purpose the preservation of each individual's ability to choose for or against God in the person of his Son, Jesus Christ. Nevertheless, the extent to which the availability of the gospel of truth and the faithful following of Jesus through that truth will be attacked by the devil and the beast in the course of the great persecution will come closer to eradicating this essential principle than ever before in human history. Isaiah describes this development by prophesying that mankind will at this time break the everlasting covenant, Isaiah 24:5, a reference to the effective removal to a significant and unprecedented degree of any ability to hear or receive the truth of the gospel or grow in the word. The only previous worldwide precedent is the situation which obtained when Nimrod organized a similarly exclusive universal religion during the building of the Tower of Babel, Genesis 11:1-9. As in that historical parallel, so in the case of Antichrist's religion and the great persecution it sponsors and spawns, God will not allow such things to continue forever or even to reach a point where faith is entirely wiped off the earth. This one fact alone should encourage the faithful who anticipate or experience these things. For an end will come to such evil, an end which the faithful will see with their own eyes if only they remain faithful to the end. Joel 2:30-32. It is also a certainty, given the perfect and gracious character of our God, that in no case will any individual who truly desires it be deprived of salvation or spiritual growth, despite the severe restrictions upon believers, actual and potential in those days. For nothing is impossible for our God. Jeremiah 32:17 and Matthew 19:26.